Hey, what's up everyone? Eric Rossi, the guy with the eye here. The question I have for you today, is the consumer camera dead? So I'm pretty much reacting to a video that Tony Northrup recently made just last week. And essentially the video was called The Death of Consumer Camera. And I felt that is a very, very good topic. So I'm gonna link his video down in the description below. So that way you can see his full aspect on it and a lot of the comments and everything of people who are kind of extreme about it as well. So that way you get the full aspect of his review. But to sum it up, Tony makes an amazing amount of points on why the consumer market, why the consumer camera industry is pretty much dead to an extent, but I don't think it's fully there. And, you know, I'll break down some of the things and, you know, we'll talk about it right here. But essentially in my, you know, some things of what he said and really kind of wrapped up, camera manufacturers have ignored or ignoring the success of smartphones and iPhones, etc. out there. iPhone photos were pretty much one of the biggest things uploaded anywhere, especially to Instagram and Flickr and everything over the past 2 years. But pretty much as Instagram and Snapchat came to market, this is one of the biggest things out there. Pretty much Tony says is that like Canon and Nikon lost the consumer market. If they don't act fast, they'll lose the enthusiasts too. And to an extent, I do see what he means. I think it's a bit extreme in a sense. I don't think that they'll lose the enthusiasts because if you're really serious about photography or if you're a really, you know, serious hobbyist or something like that, especially if you're a student, you're going to buy a real camera. If you want a real camera and everything, you're going to buy it, even as a consumer as well. It just makes the onus on giving you that extra thing. It's like, do I really need it if I'm just taking things with my phone? And that really kind of takes the family dad or the soccer mom mentality of it and saying like, do you need something like that? But I don't think it's a fully dead market. I think that it's just causing people to hesitate a little bit. And really the consumer market's really affected in just two ways, and it's the point and shoot market, which is a very, very dead market. Tony hit the ball on the head on that one. And the other thing that this would affect in all the, you know, smartphones and the rise of everything like that is the entry-level DSLRs and mirrorless market. And it's because the pricing is a little off on those. I mean, you are paying a premium for smartphones and the cameras and the technology that you have in them, but it's just the portability and everything like that. And it's people are learning with mobile devices with Instagram. And if you don't want to realize that or, you know, own up to it to these days, you really have to grow up and really think, this is a thing. This is what's happening. I don't care if you're learning on something or the other. As long as you're developing your eye and your creativity, it's a very interesting thing. But as I said, if you're serious about it or if you really want to take, you know, high quality images, you are going to get a camera. It's not just going to go away. But the market and the impact has definitely shifted over the past couple of years, especially with the new apps and everything out there and the rise of the technology and smartphones. Some of the common complaints that I saw as well is that you know, Instagram and smartphones are for like kid photographers and it's not taken seriously. And if you're in that mentality, you unfortunately are very wrong. Instagram is very successful for reasons. It allows people to connect and get instant feedback for their photos, and they're able to share their work and develop their brands and everything like that. Instagram is a very essential tool nowadays, and that's pretty much one of my favorite apps, but that's not what drives me to do that. And to say a smartphone is for kids is absolutely ridiculous as well. I'm not even gonna really react to that, you know, notion. You just have to mature. Really the overall thing, especially with a lot of this, just people are afraid to get into the times, and it is the rise of the smartphone. But once again, as I say, it is causing people to hesitate more. The point and shoot market is dead, but I still think that there is the entry-level DSLRs and mirrorless and all these different markets, which I'll cover in a second, that are still going to buy cameras. So the consumer camera probably isn't dead. I think it's more or less hesitated upon, thinking like, yeah, we have to go down to the local, you know, store, the camera store, or order one, you know, a nice big camera, when you could be like, oh, I have something like this. There's still hesitation. I'm using that because I think it's true. And then I really kind of broke it down to this as well, and it's, you know, the cheap point and shoots out there, the consumer market that Tony hit on, have been really blown away by smartphones. And once again, if you don't realize that as well, you're not getting the full picture on things, but it's the absolute truth and fact out there. The other thing is the convenience of sharing and posting images. Now, a lot of these entry levels and mirrorless cameras out there are now coming with Wi-Fi built in, so that way you can connect to your smartphone. But sometimes the setting up process is so mundane, it doesn't work sometimes with, you know, some of these out there, but it's still not universally done. It's still finally starting to trickle into a lot of stuff. And in 2016, it's kind of crazy that it's not like just fully loaded in there. But that's another reason why people are still not going to these consumer cameras, is because they have them readily with their smartphones. their devices. The last kind of point, especially with this in regards to the death of consumer cameras, is that they already have something with them, and that a lot of these aren't easily portable. Now, the push for the mirrorless was that it's smaller, it's more compact, it's lighter and everything like that, but it's still having to carry around another body, a lens and everything, and something when everyone always has a smartphone or something like that with them. So it's just another big push to something like this. But this really breaks down to 5 different markets, and I think that this is where the hesitation resides, and let's just break it down. First one is you got the soccer mom and the family dad who are using entry-level DSLRs, but maybe not like the point and shoots, but they still maybe use their phone for quick stuff. But I do find them still using them, but maybe not going out there specifically and buying, the consumer level camera. So I kind of see the point on that one. But then you have the hobbyist, the amateur, the student, and the pro, and they are buying actual cameras. So I guess you have to define what a consumer camera is. And I guess you're maybe saying that for the hobbyist or the amateur and the student, and you're excluding the pro camera. You could be a serious amateur or a serious hobbyist, but everyone's still a consumer in that regard. So you have to define to yourself what a consumer is and what the consumer camera, relates to you in that regards. But I think the consumer camera isn't fully dead. I get the connotation that Tony's using here. I just think that there is more of a hesitation to the times, and that if you need a camera, you will still buy it, but it's still not the first thing to go. Be like, oh, I need to take pictures, I need a camera. It's, oh, I have this right here, I'm kind of being limited, let me go check out what I can get in stores. So I get the mentalities there, I get that it is. I see that the point and shoot market's dead, but the consumer camera, I don't think it's dead, and I just think that if you're going to want to shoot images, you're still going to get a camera anyway. You just now have different options, and you're not reaching for your best camera right away. But it's a very good discussion point, and once again, Tony's link will be down in the description below. He had a lot of great points on that. I just think that it's not dead. I think that certain aspects are in certain things, but overall, I think you get the point. Let me know your thoughts down in the comments below. Is the consumer camera dead? Or is it on the rise? I don't know. Let me know down in the comments. Thank you so much for watching this video. Eric Rossi, the guy with the eye. Give us a quick like. Share this as a very good discussion point. As always, keep an eye out.